If you're already in your 40s, you might think it's a little bit late to start retirement planning, but this is a perfect time. Even if you don't have anything in today's video, we're going to be looking at 8 late start retirement tips to not only start in your 40s, but by the time you're end of your 50s, you can have over $1 million in an investment account, which is exactly set up perfectly for retirement. Now, of course, when you think of this, it's going to be a very frugal lifestyle. It is going to be a commitment to really a life-changing behaviors that we look at. Now, when it comes to me personally, I opt for older cars. We do a lot of home cooked meals. We do a lot of meal prepping. We look at a ton of different ways, my wife and I, that we can actually cut costs to keep us on track with exactly what we want to do. So let's get into these 8 late start retirement tips to really break it down and make sure that you are set for retirement. Starting with our first one, scrutinizing your budget and cutting your costs. Now, this, of course, means going through your budget every single month. If it's a budget, if it's a spending plan, regardless of what you want to call it, you have to know what are your needs, what are your wants, and really where is your money going? Is it going to dining out? Is it going to vacations? Is it going to priority such as hobbies? Is it going to needs versus wants? Breaking them into categories is really the biggest impact you're going to see because, of course, anywhere that you can cut out some of those wants, every dollar that you can cut out is going to give you another dollar to do one of two things. Number one, either debt repayment, or the second one is going to be the ability to invest, which of course is going to make a big difference. It allows you to cut out some of those wants that you have, prioritizing and diverting more money actually into cash or investments depending on where you are. Now, of course, for our second one, you can grow your income. This is something that we see is literally happening everywhere. Negotiating raises, looking for a higher paid job, monetizing some of the skills that you have as a side gig, a side hustle, whatever you want to call it. A majority of individuals, over 50% in America right now, have some sort of side hustle, some sort of side gig that is bringing in extra income. Even if you can bring $5, $10, $15,000 to the table every year, that is kind of crazy if you can increase not only your income, but also increase and spend a little bit of dedicated time to make some of that side money. Now, this, of course, could come from YouTube. It could come from Uber. It could come from, grocery shopping. It could be from a ton of things that are offered online that you can exclusively do online or in person, getting a second job that can grow money. And of course, the more money, the more income that you have, the more you're going to have to invest, and also that debt repayment. And of course, when we talk about YouTube, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you like the content that I'm putting out there. And let's get into number 3, which of course is paying off the high interest debt. This is the absolute biggest hurdle that I see is when it comes to high interest debt, individuals that are going from a regular salary, a 9-to-5 job with a side hustle into retirement, you have to make sure that the debt is gone. When you start looking at credit card debt, it is running about a 25% interest. Every single dollar that you're paying in interest is a dollar that you're not allowed to spend to essentially repay the debt. It is a dollar that you do not have in cash. It is also a dollar that you do not have to invest, which of course, if you want to hit that millionaire status by the time you're in your late 50s, you have to get rid of debt. Debt provides cash flow. Anytime that you eliminate your debt, you're giving yourself and you're freeing up more cash flow, which of course can be funneled directly into the retirement savings. Because if you're starting at 40, getting ready to retire at 60, you have a 20-year window to make an exponential amount and really moving the needle, getting into that compounding interest. That way, when you get to retirement, you're not just kind of out of luck because you didn't save enough. And of course, when it comes to investing often, even if it is smaller amounts, can really make a big difference. It is better late than never. That is a good way to do it. If you're looking at retirement savings, if you're thinking about when should I started investing, the answer is yesterday. If you're asking these questions, there's no real bad time to invest. But of course, like we always say, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. Starting now and starting today with investment and investment strategy will make a big difference for the rest of your life. And again, the more money that you can put into this investment account, of course, is going to grow, even if it is simple ETF investing, which is exactly what I love doing on this channel, is we do in ETF investing in the S&P 500, also do a couple other ones, but overall, when you look at the return, you're at about 10% every year on average. And again, thinking of being broke in your 40s, being a millionaire by late 50s, you have 10 to 20 years that you can let it grow at roughly that 10% investment rate. And of course, we're looking at a long-term plan when it comes to investing. Now, the next one we look at is leveraging real estate. Now, this might not be it for everybody. Real estate, honestly, a lot of people do real estate, buy real estate. I know a lot of flippers. I know people that rent out on Airbnb, creating a little bit of passive income. I know especially people that might not do the real estate thing themselves, but if you have extra space in your house, if you're renting out a room, you can see some real estate appreciation. If you have a home, which of course is going to boost your net worth, but when it comes to that net worth, of course, doesn't really make a big difference unless you're selling, because that is when you actually have the ability to get the money out of that equity that you chose to build in that house. And of course, we don't want to put it into a home equity. We don't want to do HELOCs. We don't want to do any more borrowing. The plan in this video is to get rid of and really eliminate all of the debt you have. Now, when it comes to frugality, and this is one that I talk about quite a bit, when it comes to frugal, this is the reason myself and my wife do the exact same. We drive older model cars. We buy things in bulk. We do DIY projects. There's a lot that we do. We do meal prepping, which saves us a lot of money. Really, the anti-consumerism, frugal mindset gives you more money for investments. That's right. When you look at things, especially looking at the price tag of cars, which are running about $50,000 for a new vehicle, when you get one a couple years older, you might pay $20,000, $25,000. Still, with not too many miles on it, you can find an older car and exponentially save hundreds of dollars a month, not only in auto insurance, but also in the payment itself. And of course, if you have a car that is paid off in full, that you're not carrying a car payment, that gives you a lot more money to put in those investment accounts. And again, you can really supercharge those investment accounts and really make it kind of crazy on how much you can put in there. And the goal of this is to really, again, cutting out all of the non-essential things that you're looking at, because you have a goal in mind, which is to be a millionaire by the time you get to that late 50s, by the time you get to retirement, that everything is going to be paid off. And of course, the last one, or one to the last, is an entrepreneurial mindset. Now, this, of course, is the multiple income streams that you can get. Anywhere that you can generate additional income, whether it be CDs, whether it be dividends, whether it's interest, whether it is a side hustle, anything that is going to improve your cash flow can really give you the ability to, again, kind of snowball, pay down all of that debt. If you're using the snowball method, if you're using the debt avalanche method, regardless of what one you're looking at, you have to make sure, because a lot of people do fail when they listen to their friends and family. And it's kind of crazy. That is a cue from Mark Cuban. He said the number one reason people fail in life is because they listen to their friends, family, and their neighbors. That is not the place unless they are certified financial counselors, certified financial advisors that you want to get when it comes to advice from them. And of course, the final one, which is the biggest one that we do see, relocate to save. Now, of course, depending on the area that you look at and where you live within the United States, even with outside of the, kind of the United States, where elsewhere in the world, relocating to save can make a big difference. If you're living, let's say, in California and you relocate to somewhere like Arkansas, you could save $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 a year. And also, depending on what you do and what you're willing to sacrifice, might make a big difference. But when, again, you start thinking of almost 2 decades with the ability to save money, it can really make some real good savvy money moves, which of course can have a huge impact if you're late start on retirement, and really making sure that you're a millionaire when you do get into those retirement years. Now, guys, that is going to do it for today's video. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. And as always, thank you guys for watching.